It's June the 1st. It's the start of the championship, 2025 TG4 Intermediate Championship. And what a game to start off with here. It's an Ulster derby. Monaghan at home to Cavan in St Tiernach's Park in Clonus. They met about a month ago in Ulster and it was a cracker. So we're hoping for the same today, and I'm delighted to say with Cora Courtney with us as well. And Courtney, how excited are you just being here Championship Day?
Yeah, anytime you get to play in Clonus, you know you have a big game ahead of you, and the sun's shining out here, a bit of a breeze, but two teams are warming up and I'd say they're excited to get started. Yeah,
that breeze, you mentioned it when you arrived, it's kind of blustery, isn't it? What way is it going, or how's it going to affect the game?
Yeah, definitely it's going to make a big impact on the game. It's strong, so whoever has it in the first half will want to get a big lead up.
I'm looking at those flags though, and I can't really tell who it's going to be for. It's just maybe going to make the game a little bit difficult, which, I mean, if you look at the jerseys and the players, they're all sort of fluttering around quite a lot as well. So maybe it'll make the game a little bit more unpredictable if these games can be a bit more unpredictable. You know, passes mightn't quite get there.
Yeah, it'll be a game of two halves, and I'd say they're testing the win here in the warm-up.
Yeah, okay. And who do you think today, because I was trying to work it out. I mean, the last day that game they played was incredible. Monaghan 11 points up. I mean, who loses an 11-point lead? And they lost by 4 in the end. There were a lot of other factors, but it makes it really hard to predict for me. Anyway, I mean, historically, Monaghan, you would think, would beat Cavan, but things are changing. Cavan have momentum, you know, and these young players coming through. They've won a couple of trophies here. You know, what do you think?
Yeah, I suppose winning is a habit, and with Cavan winning the League 3 title and then the Ulster final, they'll be coming in with a lot of confidence. But then again, Monaghan did put it up to them into the semi-final, and they just couldn't get out of their own half in that second half in the semi-final and lost a lot of balls. So I'm sure they were working on that and working on stopping Cavan's running game.
Yeah, but was that one of the factors of the game with the sin bins? Was it affected that? I mean, how do you train for not losing ball? Was it just the way the game developed, do you think?
Probably Cavan put an awful lot of pressure on Monaghan, so they have to deal with dealing with being under pressure and being more confident and composed on the ball and sticking to their game plan and not worrying about Cavan. Cavan are strong and they're strong runners, but Monaghan need to just focus on themselves and yes, worry about Cavan, but number one, worry about themselves.
Yeah, but if they can get that big lead again, obviously. But I mean, was the big lead really representative of the way the game was? Because Cavan did get a penalty from the first attack. They missed it. Didn't score until the 19th minute, but they missed a lot of chances. Monaghan caught them. Jennifer Duffy was thrown into full forward, maybe surprised them, got a couple of goals. So there were a number of factors there. So was that 11-point, lead, was it really a true reflection of these teams?
With Jennifer, she's an awful strong runner, and probably her moving from the centre half back position to full forward probably did surprise Cavan that day.
And it won't surprise them today.
No, they'll be ready for wherever position she is. She'll be one that Cavan will look to stop. But yeah, Monaghan, if they will hope to get that lead and keep it this time if they do get it.
Absolutely, 11 points, and they have brought in 2 players from the starting lineup we were given during the week. One of them, your sister Rosemary, wearing 20, in for Laura Connolly, number 12, and Sarah Tiernach wearing 19, in for Sophie Curley, who would have been 15. And Sarah got the 3rd goal the last day against Cavan in that game, so they're bringing her in. What effect do you think those changes will make, and tactically will Rosemary maybe move back into the sort of an extra player at the back?
Look, I'd say Cavan expected them players to be starting and have prepared for them. They're 2 strong direct runners and have an eye for a score. Sarah, especially when she gets the ball, she'll take on her player and look for a goal. Rosemary will probably drop back into the fence and try and build her attacks from there. She'll be fit enough to continue going up and down the pitch. It's just about Monaghan delivering the ball into the full forward line into there. Ava Sherry and Sarah Tiernach, they'll do damage if Monaghan do play a quick ball into them. Right,
so quick long ball, you reckon, from Monaghan? I mean, Cavan are good at that as well, but the last day against Down, they ran a lot of ball through the middle, through Catherine Dolan in particular, with great effect, and they cut through Down right through the middle.
Yeah, Catherine Dolan was unbelievable in the Ulster final there. Give and go, she was very hard to stop. They had so many runners coming from everywhere, so that'll be something Monaghan will have to target, stopping the runners before they actually get going, because once they get going, you're either going to foul them or they're going to get by and get scores, so you have to stop them before they actually get going.
I have to admit, when I watched the game on the live stream, I was watching Catherine Dolan, because you were literally going, whoa, You know, I mean, she was amazing. It's hard to tell people if they don't know what it's like. You think, oh, some girl just played well. But she scored 2, 3, and she set up 3 other goals. And it was all lightning fast, as you say, giving goals around the middle. She was electric.
Yeah, I'm just watching her there in the warm-up. It's just straight and direct, and she's going for a goal. She's going to be one that they need to stop today.
Absolutely, absolutely. So those 2 changes, Rosemary Courtney 20 and Sarah Tiernach 19 are in. The referee, you'll have seen in some of the shots there, is Declan Carolyn. And 2 years ago we live streamed from your club Donamoyne, Monaghan against Cavan, and I don't think I'm wrong in this, 5 yellow cards that day. Now, I've seen him referee since and he hasn't done that. So maybe that was just a one-off, or maybe it's just Monaghan Cavan. I mean, the last day these teams met and there were yellow cards flying around as well. And Dara mentioned there was a game in 2021, Monaghan beat Cavan, where yourself maybe got on the wrong end of that. So, but that's what you expect in these games. That's where there's hard hitting, there's tackles flying everywhere. I mean, I looked at the game from 2016 here that you were playing in as well, and that day, you know, Sharon was diving everywhere in blocks and Sinead Green was doing the same. I mean, that's just what you expect. Yeah,
I suppose you go out to win every game, and every ball that's there to be won, you want to be winning. Every block you can get in, every hit you can get in. I suppose this Monaghan team will be looking to put their presence on Cavan now from the first minute, so we'll expect to hopefully see a good hard-hitting game today with plenty of good free-flowing football.
So you just don't like each other?
Actually, we're neighbours.
Yeah, but as you say, yeah, that's it, exactly. But you have to get that in, and especially Monaghan. Are you saying that Monaghan, after the last day, they have a point to prove here, because they were obviously hurt by losing that 11-point lead? That's an embarrassing sort of situation to be in. So they will have sort of been hurting over a month.
Aye, they will, but at the same time, Cavan want to show us that they weren't the team that they showed us in the first half in that semi-final. So I'd say it'll be 50-50 out here today. Whoever makes most use of possession will come out victorious. Yeah,
but you're thinking Monaghan should just put it in long and Cavan just play their game and carry it. But I suppose that depends on the breeze too. I'm looking at some of the Cavan players down there and the way the breeze is on their jerseys and that, and it is a real big factor. You see their hair going as well. I mean, it's going to be really strong down there.
Yeah, they're just kicking outside the wee D, so there must be a good bit of wind on their back. But yeah, Cavan will seem to, I'd say they'll press up on Monaghan. So I'd say hopefully Monaghan will use that wind or use the kick and get it into the full forward line, because I'd say that's how they're going to be successful today, is getting the ball straight into the full forward line and not playing slow football.
Yeah, and Cavan this year, I mean, they brought back Catherine Dolan and the Sheridans, Lauren McVitie, and they're a lot stronger this year, and maybe dropping down to Division 3 has helped them confidence wise. I mean, they've really come good and they've come through and got promoted and brought that into Ulster and looking to bring it forward now. They've been looking really, really good, but you know what, it's hard to read too much maybe into the Down game. I mean, we're Down just poor. Did Down just die after 10 minutes in that game, and Cavan just more or less did what they wanted. I watched a bit of it now, and it looked like the game was over after 10 minutes, and then it can be hard if one team, they know the game's up, you know. So how much can you read into that?
Oh, I just think it was Cavan's running game. They were unbelievable. Yeah. If you come up a team against like that, that's just hard running. They're going to be very, very hard to stop.
Absolutely. And the other team in the group is Wicklow. So Cavan play them next Sunday. Cavan have home advantage, and then Wicklow at home to Monaghan on June 14. But never mind that. Today is about Monaghan Cavan, and if you get a win today, you're in a good position to get a home quarter-final draw. But more to the point, as a player, you're just thinking you just want to beat your neighbours, yeah?
Oh yeah, and especially on this pitch in Clonus. Like, as I said earlier, it's just, you get excited having to come to Clonus, and one of the main pitches in the country, and one of my favourite pitches as well, so you'd be excited to be out there today. And
what did you like about it? Was it the venue? Was it the actual pitch itself? What was it?
I guess the venue, and you know the men's Ulster finals to be here and it's packed out, so you know if the ladies get here, you know it's a special day.
Absolutely. And looking at Cavan as well, I mean, I was looking back at a few stats. I mean, they won the All-Ireland Intermediate in 2013, and they had 10 years at senior. So they came up and played you in that Ulster final in 2016. That was their first senior final in Ulster since 1977. But they got beat that day, and they didn't have a lot of success at senior, even though they were there an awful long time. And last year, they had a playoff to go down to junior. They had to beat Antrim. So, you know, I don't know what that says, but I mean, the other thing is that they haven't actually won a proper senior championship match in the All-Ireland series since 2017. I mean, what I mean by proper is, apart from playoffs, they've had quite a few playoffs, but to win a game like this game today, they haven't actually won this game if you like, since 2017 when they beat Laois, and they did a lot of hammerings. You know, Hughes beat them by 20 points in 2015, Cork beat them by 20 points in 2020. They did a lot of hammerings at that level. So, you know, this is maybe where they belong, and this is a point that they need to make today. But I know they're a team with amazing potential going forward. But that record over the last 10, 12 years or so at senior level, it maybe didn't help them a lot. This is where they belong. But now they could win another intermediate 12 years later as Declan Carolan throws the ball in and we get started. I'll bring you in on that point in a minute, but let's go with the play, because it's Cavan going from left to right, and it's Ellie Brady from Ballyhaise. That was a good hand in there, I think, by Casey Traynor. Or was it a foul? Oh. Yeah, the referee has given that. Looked like a clearly good tackle. I wouldn't have given that as free now, so that's very harsh on Casey there, showing how to put in a good tackle there. It looked like she came right from the side there and just got a hand, but I suppose the referee, I think he was a bit further back. He was maybe looking straight on it, but that looks like an easy chance with that breeze we were talking about for Cavan to get the first score of the game. And won't need too much power in this, and doesn't. Yeah, that point about Cavan, I mean, I'm not quite sure what point it was making, to be honest, but they had a long time at senior and it didn't really happen for them. Yeah, so maybe going down to intermediate was the best job for them to rebuild, but at the same time it's taken them till probably this year where they have real ambitions of hoping to win an All-Ireland. Same at Monaghan and probably another few teams in intermediate that it's anybody's game to win the All-Ireland, and these are two teams that are hopefully looking to be there in August. It's amazing the way things change. I mean, 10 years ago, you wouldn't have thought Monaghan would be anywhere but senior. Yeah, but at the same time, it was good that we went down them 2 or 3 years ago to start rebuilding, but we found it difficult to get that rebuilding started, and hopefully a win here today might give them good confidence to push on. Looking at the play here from the kick-out, there was no press from Cavan, and they're just letting Monaghan have it here. That's like they're getting them on the second phase. Yeah, it's like they all drop off to the 45, and then their half-backs and midfields are pushing up too, so letting Monaghan win, but it wouldn't be a tactic that I'd like to see. I'd rather them push up and contest the kick-out. Well, it's Rosemary Courtney now putting a good ball into the forwards, but there's only one player up there. Now, she's done extremely well, and that is the number 19, Sarah Tiernach, that we were talking about, but she runs into a lot of traffic. Now, she has been fouled. The referee has given good advantage, and she's put it over, and she had to do it all herself, but tactically, to me, that was a fascinating piece of play there. Yeah, that's what I want to see, is the ball being delivered in quick. Sarah's just going to turn and take you on, and that's what she done and got a good first score. She did, and now it's Cavan getting out from their kick out, and already it's an up and down game, and it's really open, and it seems really exciting and lively. And this is Sheridan getting on the ball, and she gets a little bit of support from Green, and she leaves it off, and there is a change for Cavan, because there's a number 20 out there that we weren't told about before the game, so a change for them as well. And this is Green now on the ball. The attack didn't end up on a score, so they've had to recycle a little bit, and this is Dolan, and as you said, Cora, they'll be very wary of her making runs through the middle, but there is another run instead, and they might get a score at the end of this, and it's a captain, but it's gone a little bit to the left and not with a power as well. She maybe just didn't give it enough there, and instead the goalkeeper comes out with it. And yeah, tactically it's interesting here again where Cavan aren't really pressing too hard and too high. And we did a game last year in Antrim in the men's football, and it was really fascinating. Somebody explained it to me after a while in the game that one of the teams was actually letting the other team kick the ball short, and they were leaving one player. They wanted to have the ball, and they were letting him have it because they thought when he gets it, we're going to jump on him, you know. So is that a thing in ladies as well? You might look to see who's the weakest ball skills, and you might give it to them and allow them have it, and then maybe get a wee press on, and hopefully they'll make a mistake. But yeah, Cavan are playing one back here the whole time, and the rest are kind of pushing up but not actually doing a full press, kind of just marking space. Interesting, and it's our Monaghan trying to get through here though. 3 or 4 blue jerseys. Now the referee's given advantage again, and he might bring this back, and he is going to bring it back, and he's going to be like that, you know. He's going to give advantage, but there are going to be frees in this game, and already there's been quite a few opportunities there. And Monaghan's first point, you know, if she hadn't got that, she'd have had a free as well. So he's going to be clamping down on those sort of challenges. Yeah, usually any bit of contact leads to a free. So 1 point each becomes 2-1, and it's all frees, isn't it? Well, 2 frees and then the one from Sarah Tiernach. Now this kick out, let's see what Cavan, and again, no press from Monaghan really, or certainly not with a number of players. They've dropped off as well. So they're letting each other have the ball in this sort of area, and that's kind of what's happening tactically, which is interesting, isn't it?
It wouldn't be something I'd like from Monaghan. I'd rather get the runners stopped before they get the ball in their hand, and then once they attack you at pace, it's going to be very hard to get them stopped.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what they're doing now, because Lucy Crowe has it and she's coming through the middle, and once you develop that extra player and then you have the support as well, Mona Sheridan coming up to support as well, and they're just looking to leave it up. She's run into trouble and needs to make sure she doesn't overcarry, and has done well to get it to her sister. And then Aisling, she runs into trouble. And I guess this is a tactic, Cora. You know, they're letting the team have the ball, but when they get to this area of the pitch, then they crowd them out. And if you bring it into the tackle, you're in trouble.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the modern game, isn't it?
If that's the tactic they're going to play, they'll want to not to be conceding fouls, so they'll have to keep their tackling clean.
Is this the way it was 10 years ago, or has the game evolved, do you think?
The game has evolved more tactically. It was more like up and down, 15 on 15 years ago when I was playing.
Well, there's a goal chance, and well done by the goalkeeper actually coming out. Orna Kelly, she did well there from a one-on-one, and they had to stop the goals today, and they did there. Let's have another look at what happened there, Cora. And nicely slipped through, and it's Gilsonen who, well, was that a foul actually maybe there by Sinead, or by Shona Brady?
She could have got away with that one there, yeah.
Yeah, I think she did. But I suppose it was advantage letting them have the goal effort. And here comes Dolan again. We told you about her, and she just fists that one over the bar, and now they're starting to get through. And that is 2 points each and a good score from Catherine Dolan. Well, they get through for a goal chance, and then they get their point there. So the number 20, Kerry McCormick it is for Cavan, by the way, who's in, and she's in for Lauren McVitie. I don't know what's happened with Lauren. She'd usually be a firm starter.
Yeah, and she'd be the one to be taking the frees as well, so it'll be interesting to see who'll be put on to them now.
All very congested around the middle, and they have got it back though. They've turned it over, Cavan, and that is what they do, get lots of players around that area, and now they try to launch a really quick attack, and that's a tricky one for the keeper, is it? No, that's 2 or 3 they've dropped into the arms there, isn't it? You know, 2 or 3 short, even with the breeze, and maybe the breeze is just playing havoc with them. I'm looking at the flags here, and it's not doing what it was doing 5 minutes ago, so they need to give it a bit more there. So just checking on the Facebook and YouTube to see if there's any comments there, and you're all happy and enjoying the game, so feel free to leave a comment on there if you like, or any questions about the game, and we'll try to keep an eye on them as we watch the game. So 7 minutes gone, 2 points each, and this is Shona Brady, the number 3 from Castle Blaney. Quite a few Blaney players in the team these days. It used to be all Donamoyne.
Aye, Blaney is an up-and-coming team. They've developed now from junior to intermediate, and they're up playing senior league possibly, so it's great to see some players coming on.
Yeah, Grace Hanratty as well is from there, the number 5, and Laura Connolly, who was going to start as well. And where's St Bridget's, by the way? Kiva Brennan from number 2's from there. Where's that club?
That's Ballybay.
Oh, that's Ballybay, yeah. And they have a few Amy Clark's, Mara Clune, and a couple of Scottstown girls as well. Now, this is one of those Scottstown girls. That was Eva Sherry, and they're trying to get through. And there's a bit of room across. She thought about it, but has carried on herself and kept possession really, really well, and got across to Garland. And Garland has swung at it, but was off balance, and that has gone to the right, and it's gone wide. Now, the goalkeeper, Evelyn Baugh from the Lurgan Club, in fact, the top 4 from Cavan, 1, 2, 3 and 4 all from the Lurgan Club, as is of course the manager Emmett Daly, who's also the vice chair of that club, so a big Lurgan influence. There's a player down injured, so there'll be a little bit of a hold up here.
I think it's Casey Traynor, her hand, or
yeah,
she seems to have hurt.
Yeah, but sort of the start of the game that we kind of expected, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely, and I'm good to see Monaghan getting into Cavan and creating a lot of attacks and putting Cavan on the back foot as well. Yeah,
and they'll be happy enough that they haven't let in a goal. There was that 1 goal chance, but they'll be happy enough defensively that they haven't let them through.
At this stage of the game, yeah, they'll be very happy. And Cavan will probably look to try and get a few more scores now before the end of the half.
This is Sinead Green showing her pace that we've known her for down the years, and gets it forward down on that left hand side. Look at the amount of white jerseys coming over now. They're very wary of the counter attack and the speed, and they've fouled out there, and they'll probably not be too concerned about fouling that far out the field, and they don't want them to get through for goals.
Yeah, as long as they're not letting them in for a goal, but at the same time you'll be watching your foul count.
Yes, exactly. And with this referee, he will be ticking and he will be watching these things. And as I say, there were a lot of sin bins when these two met a couple of years ago. This is a tricky one. Fair distance. I'm not sure what way the breeze is going. In fact, I'm looking at the flag in the goals, and it seems to be quite strong in her advantage. That's a tricky one, and she's done that really perfectly. She just had the right trajectory on it. Give it a bit of power there rather than put it up in the air.
Yeah, I
You're the expert here, not me.
I would have liked to see a bit more power in that, but you never know with the ladies football. That could easily have dropped into the underneath the bar as well.
Exactly. And again, no pressure here. I find this really interesting. No pressure at all from Cavan until here. And now it's like they've lined up. Well, we've a line of three, and then a line of four, and then another line of three. Yeah. And it's like, try and get through this, if you will.
I'd definitely look to kick over that there, high press.
That's what they did for the first point to Sarah Tiernach. Easier said than done, but when she was on her own, and she had to do it all on her own, and she's a long way from where they are now, so they're just congesting this area here. The switch of play, but Sinead Green is nipped in, and that's what happens when you have so many players in that area. And look at the speed of Green trying to get up to support as well, and does get it back as well, but the ball just evades her grasp there, and Monaghan will be able to at least stifle that attack. And it's probably a hop, isn't it? No, it's a free out actually for Monaghan. It's that counter Cavan are so quick on that Monaghan haven't really had.
Yeah, but they're not getting much joy out of it so far, and Monaghan will be delighted.
Exactly, yeah. Now, goalkeeper coming well out of her goals, Orna Kelly. She's from Carrickmacross. She got a yellow, of course, the last time the teams met, and then the penalty for Cavan was scored by Aisling Gilsonan in that dramatic game in Smithborough. Monaghan 3-8, Cavan 2-15 that day. Cavan ended with 8 points in a row that day, so they really came good in the end. But Monaghan had that big start to the game, and that's a good ball fed in, and they might get in behind. They might have a goal chance here. Monaghan, it's a one-on-one, and that's a drag down as well, and surely this is going to be a penalty and a sin bin. We were just talking about it the last time they played, and surely there's no question here. And the referee is taking his time, and he's going to his book. But that is as obvious as you will see, and that is a brilliant counter. I was saying that they weren't getting through, Cora, and that's exactly what they've just done. Yeah,
I was thinking to myself, Sarah shouldn't have took that extra solo. She should have took a shot, but when she took it, then she did get dragged down. So
we'll see it again here. It's hard to see in the monitor with the sunshine here, but you see her. She had a lovely turn, just got the defender the wrong side, and she brought her down. It was Emer Corcoran, I think, number 4, who was sin bin. So all of a sudden the game has turned. Now, penalty for Monaghan. 12 minutes in, and dispatches it brilliantly. No chance for the keeper. Smashed to the net, sent her the wrong way as well. And Monaghan have drawn first blood in this game after 12 minutes, and brilliantly taken by Eva Sherry from Scottstown. No stopping that one, Cora.
No, and I think the keeper was nearly standing on one side of the goal, hoping she'd go the other side, and she did dive the other side, but Eva hit it the other side. So
yeah, she wasn't fooled by that.
She wasn't fooled by that either.
No, not at all. This is Kerry McCormick now for Cavan. The game has just gone up a level after that goal. That's livened things up a little bit after a sort of a cagey start with points from frees, and both teams really stifling each other. All of a sudden, a goal from nowhere. 13 minutes in then. And Monaghan will be delighted with this. They've kept Cavan to just 3 points and 1 sighting of goal. And Cavan now have to try and figure out a way to go through. If our camera's quite tight, but if it comes wide in this, and we'll see the whole Clonus pitch here, you'll be able to see tactically what is happening in this game. It is very, very interesting. That's Sheridan going for her score and gets it, and that's the first we've seen really from Aisling Sheridan. That's what she can do with the economic effort here. Economy of effort rather, she just gets it. Look, bang, point.
Yeah, I think that's the first time Cavan actually slowed down the play a bit instead of driving at them the whole time, and they got joy out of it that way as well.
Yeah, and I was saying there, tactically in that wide shot, just so interesting where Monaghan have set up. They've obviously done their homework.
Yeah, they're going to clog up space and not letting Cavan get through for goal, which they've stopped, and it made Cavan just change a little bit tactically there, fisting it over and back and hoping to create an option for a point scoring opportunity.
Trying to get it in there again. Cavan get it back though, and they now have the chance. And will they go at speed, or as you say, will it be a little bit more composed? No, they've gone for the speed option, and that's a rather crude challenge there. And the Monaghan player, I'm not sure who it is.
Yeah, I think it's Lauren Garland.
Is it Lauren? It is Lauren, you're right. Number 10, yeah. She wears 10, but she will play back in that sort of area there. And she was brave there. Let's look at it again. Cora coming through there. Oh, yeah. And it might have actually...
It's a Monaghan free, but if that was me on the pitch, I'd be giving it to Cavan. I'm sorry, Lauren, but what could the Cavan player do? She was running through. But Lauren, that's the tactic you see in the ladies' game now. People just stand and...
Yes.
They'll fall over, but it's hard to call them. But
it is. It really is hard to call them. I don't know how they do it these days. I mean, they talk about... I consulted with the referees and they says, well, the player on the ball has to be seen to be avoiding the direct challenge. And then I came back one day and I said, well, but that happened. I said, but she wasn't showing enough intent to avoid. It's really hard to judge there. And that was Lauren. I mean, the player was coming at her at speed and sort of jumped, and maybe her leg connected with her there. It was one of those connections. So what's he going to do here, Declan Carolan? Well, it is a free to Monaghan. You're right. Free to Monaghan, and they have the extra player if you're just joining us, because Cavan had a player sent off on 12 minutes just before the penalty was taken as well. The penalty resulting from the challenge from the sin bin. So Cavan down to 14. Monaghan going well on the counter. Really good score by Sarah Tiernach early on, and that's her on the ball again. And they're looking to get another score here. They've forced Cavan back, and that one played out to the right hand side. They lead 1-2-4, just the 1 point in it, but that penalty crucial. And they've worked this through nicely as well. And it's Jennifer Duffy, is it up there? And she's been fouled, and that's another free in. And Jennifer joining the attack there and being brought to the ground. And let's have another look at that one as well. There's the ball through, and yeah, 2 players in her way there. Is it Jennifer? It's hard to see from this distance, and to be honest, I can't see the monitor too well. But yeah, Jennifer getting involved in the attack, and they have another chance here, but she seems to be in a bit of bother. How do you think they will use the extra player? What do you do with that?
Who's in this case?
Well,
should they have a sin bin, don't they?
Yeah, they have a sin bin. So Cavan are
I
one
forgot
down.
about that now.
Cora, pay attention, Cora.
After a game like this, the way
does it matter?
It doesn't really matter, no.
I mean, but what do you try to do? Is there anything you can try to do? Is there you just keep playing your system?
You'd probably just keep playing your system, but try and have that extra player maybe coming up and attack and hopefully get off the shoulder a bit more.
Yeah. And Cavan wise, I suppose you just keep to your system as well. Or I mean, it was a corner back though. So
well, Cavan were playing one back in front of Sarah Tiernach, so unless they push that player up.
Yeah. And again, easy from the kick out. Possession for Cavan this time, as they go forward now with that 1 point lead. So that free just went wide, and that's well out in front. Was it Keenan, I think, maybe got out in front? It's a great spot we have here in Clonus, but it's a long way back from the pitch, so it's a wee bit hard to see the numbers sometimes. That's Green, and she goes into her player, and she's exasperated there, but that's going to be a free out, and that is very much something, as you say, you see in the modern game so much. I remember a game about, must be 7 years ago, and seeing, I'll not say which county it was, but in the first 10 minutes of the game, players deliberately, you could see, they just were standing in front of the player and the ball saying, please run into me.
Yeah. And that's what players are being told to do now. Go down.
Yeah, but then it's up to the player on the ball, I guess, to avoid the challenge, and that's really hard to do.
And it's definitely hard if you're running at full speed.
Yes, exactly, yeah. It's a tough one. This is Casey Traynor for Monaghan, another of the Scottstown contingent. Nice turn inside past Sheridan, and off she goes, but she runs into Brady and feeds a nice ball through, and that's a lovely return as well to Traynor. She's got a similar sort of build and playing style as the Garlands. I keep thinking that's one of the Garlands, but it was Casey Traynor. She got a bang earlier on. It looks like she's got another bang, and she just doesn't really want to do too much with that ball. Yeah, she's got a little bit of an injury there, and yeah, she's in a bit of pain, and that ball just filtered through as the sun goes out behind a cloud. The referee has spotted a foul in there, and it's going to be a free out to Cavan. It's gone cagey, hasn't it? From being really open, it's gone a bit cagey.
Yeah, I think Casey had an opportunity to hit that into the full forward line. Sarah Tiernach had made the run, but Casey took a few extra solos, so you don't want to get into that mindset of trying to keep the ball, get the ball in if you can get it in. In that case, it could have been hit into Sarah.
Here come Cavan again, trying once more, but Monaghan's defensive system is working a treat here, isn't it?
Yeah, they're very good. They were very well set up and know what they're at.
Yeah, and now on the counter they've got room out here, and that hasn't happened too often because Cavan have managed to keep a lot of players back as well, and it's only really Sarah Tiernach up there on her own, so they have to carry it on their own, and it has broken down. It's going to be a free out. But yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're watching the Cavan Down Ulster final, you're thinking Cavan are electric going forward. There's no way we're going to allow that, and that's exactly what Monaghan have set up to do, and they've done it brilliantly so far. You have to say, tactically, it's worked out really well. Darren Swift and his team in there, Paddy McNally as well, and Rory McCann, who's an Errigal Kieran man. They have all done a good job here, and the Monaghan players are sticking to it, and it's working for them.
Yeah, they're very well set up defensively, but I suppose if you keep Cavan from scoring, and anytime you attack, try and get maybe 1 or 2 scores from every few attacks, you'd be happy enough.
Absolutely, and that's what's happening so far. That's exactly what Monaghan are doing, and that's why they lead at the minute, just by a point though, but they'll be happy enough that they have not let Cavan through. And after what happened the last day, I suppose it was too much to expect, but have another absolute thriller and 11-point leads. That's not going to happen today. 5 goals and 23 points the last time they met, but after 20 minutes we've just had 1 goal and 6 points, so a lot cagier. But this is All-Ireland Championship, and they've learned a lot from that previous meeting, there's no doubt about that. A few other games on today in the Intermediate Championship: Westmeath against Down, Clare against Offaly, and Laois against Roscommon. So Cavan with a free, and remember, still with 14 players, although I think Emer Corcoran should be back within about maybe 2 minutes. 10 minutes should be up. That's
yeah, we see Monaghan with 3 along the 45 line.
Yeah, but Green is always so determined to get through, and off she goes again, leading the charge, and she's got through again. She's been absolutely brilliant. Lovely little 1-2s all over the place, and now a chance, and they do get a goal chance, but it's smothered, and the goalkeeper does well again. It's Orna Kelly, and that's 2 similar saves she's made, Cora.
Yeah, very good. Orna actually plays outfield for our club, so she's made into a goalkeeper, and she's a very good goalkeeper at that.
That happens a lot. I mean, Antrim have done that as well. Brona Devlin was a corner forward, and she's now in goals. She was in goals 6 months, and she won a Team of the League goalkeeper award. So yeah, it happens. You didn't do goals, no?
No, I had to jump out of the way of the ball if it came near me.
Linda wouldn't have let you anyway. But yeah, that's twice now they've managed to get through, but they're not getting really clear sights of goal.
No, they're kind of coming in at angles there, so maybe it'd be better. Yeah, it's good to see them going for their goals, but a point could be taken too to keep the scoreboard ticking over. Maybe if you're coming down the centre, if you get that opportunity, definitely go for it.
I guess when a team has played the way they've played in the league and the Ulster Championship, and they've had lots of goals, it's in them now. They're just thinking goal, but maybe you're right. Maybe that's a good point, actually. Take your points in a cagey game like this. So free for Monaghan with Garland, and she just gives it across to keep possession as the cloud cover comes over again. This is Amy Clark all the way back here. Is she going to be able to keep it in? She isn't. It's a Cavan ball.
Yeah, those are mistakes you don't want to be seeing.
That's Kerry McCormick looking to take it quickly, but only 1 player up, and that is Gilson in, and she goes on her own, and she does exactly what you were saying, puts it over the bar.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it, and a good score. She scored 1-7 the last day. Scored the penalty when the keeper was sent off, but I think she missed one. If it was her, took the one early on.
Again, that came from Monaghan. An easy pass into a Monaghan player, but went over her head, and those are mistakes.
And then there's another mistake, and Aisling Sheridan has pounced, and Cavan starting to turn the screw a little bit, and she gets it back, a 1-2, and she lashes it to the net, and that's what Sheridan can do. And Cavan are starting to punish Monaghan. Monaghan have done so well up to this, but they're maybe losing a little bit of concentration, and Cavan punishing them.
Yeah, look, it's their own downfall for it, and it was a great finish.
It really was. Driven to the net high as well, and Cavan now in front 1-5 to 1-2. It's amazing how quickly the game can change from a point down. They now lead by 3, but 2 examples there of Monaghan creating their own downfall there, and after the coaches would have been so delighted with the way they've started the game, they'll be so frustrated that all of a sudden the game has turned in a couple of simple errors, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they need to get this ball in here. The space is there. Maybe the wind is stronger down there than it is up here.
Well, maybe that's what happened with the ball going over the sideline as well, to be fair. It's tricky out there, but after being so disciplined, all of a sudden That's what happens. This is Garland, the captain, coming forward, and she's clearly held by Gilsonan, and the referee ticking for that one. So 24 minutes gone. 1-5 plays 1-2 in the Ulster Derby in the 2025 TG4 All-Ireland Intermediate Championship. Round 1, day 1. 4 games in the Intermediate Championship today. This is the first with a 1:30 start. So we have 5 minutes to go to half time in the Ulster Derby here at St Tiernach's Park in Clonus. And Cavan, after getting the lead, sitting back now with 14 players behind the ball. Or is it 13? Have they got the Sinbin player back on yet?
I
think they probably have. Yeah, it's 24. Yeah, she should be back on. They usually slip back on, and I usually don't see it, but yeah, it must be. So 14 behind the ball. This is Casey again trying to work a way through, but it's Monaghan now trying to unlock the Cavan system. What can they do? And that ball played in towards Tiernach, and she's really good at coming out and winning her own ball there in front of Sinead Kelly. And the shot from distance gets a Cavan hand to it, and it's kept in and then knocked out. I'd say that's a 45, isn't it?
45.
But yeah, Monaghan now trying to force the game.
Yeah, I think Cavan would be happy enough with Monaghan playing the ball around there. It's easy to defend, whereas you said there, once it gets into the hands of Sarah Tiernach, then there's panic stations nearly with Cavan, so try and get her on the ball a lot more.
Yeah, it's just so congested in there, and you sort of feel now that if the game pans out like this, where Monaghan are trying to chase it, Cavan are more liable to hit them on the break because of that pace they have on the break. And that's driven forward and well watched, well taken. Is it Sheridan?
Number 8 for them.
Or was it 8? No, it's Michaela Fitzpatrick from Drumlane. Get a yellow against Monaghan the last day. But this is Sheridan, of course. This is Mona Sheridan, her sister, with a goal a few minutes ago. Trademark goal from Aisling Sheridan, and she picks it up, sister to sister. She's playing very deep, actually, isn't she? She's coming forward a lot from deep. But it's working. There has been in the last few minutes, at least. This is Keenahan. Sheridan again steps inside and will try for her own score. She scored a goal and a point, and that's nearly over, but not quite. But yeah, she's playing quite deep.
She is, yeah, and she's getting on a good bit of ball there this past 10 minutes or so, which has created opportunities for them.
Absolutely. Short kick out again with no real press on it, letting them have it, and then the challenges come in from Keenahan on Garland, and Garland will get it again. Lauren had that bang earlier on, but they're tough twins.
They are, yeah.
You know that more than me. And off they go again. But big, huge gap in the middle of the field and nobody really taking it.
Yeah, I'm probably old-fashioned, but I'd rather see people push up and put pressure on, and here we have it here.
Yeah, now they're putting the pressure on. And that's Amy Clark again, number 14, all the way back there. Oh, they've given it away. They've made a mistake, and will they be punished again? This is the number 13, Keenahan. She's got a good left foot. She's left it off, and this is Kerry McCormick, wearing number 20, started the game. Not tempted to go for her own goal. Takes her point. I think they're maybe listening to you 5 or 6 minutes ago, Cora. You said they should just take their scores, take their points. They've done that.
Yeah, somebody's listening to us down there, Jerome.
But again, it's a mistake from Monaghan.
Yeah, that's 2-1 now, or
1-2.
Maybe 1-2, yeah.
Yeah, that's been a big factor here, but I suppose it is tricky. We also mentioned the conditions as well, but that's a good ball. That's what they need to do. And look at the amount of space now in front of her that she can run into, but is forced to go back. That was Clark again, but all of a sudden, it's that ball you were talking about over the top,
yeah,
isn't it, Cora? That's the crucial one, but it's so hard to play.
Yeah, definitely need to get it over the top quicker. And there, Amy, I think, again, get the opportunity, hit it into the space, and let the girls run onto it. That's
a good ball from Casey Traynor into Eva Sherry, but she runs into trouble, and it's now Cavan's defensive system that is really working a treat for them. And off they come now, and there's a transition here on for them. It is Emer Corcoran who's back on the field after the sin bin coming forward. She's looking to make amends for that and plays it inside to Fitzpatrick, but it spills, and the referee's going to hold that one up, and it is Garland, the other Garland,
the other one, yeah,
down this time. What was I saying about them being tough? 1 minute then to the break, and 1-6 to 1-2. How would you describe this first half so far, Cora?
Look, both teams have had their purple patches, and I suppose Cavan had taken more advantage of the opportunities that have come their way. I suppose it is Monaghan's downfall. Their poor passing has let Cavan in, tidied that up, and the second half is there for them.
I was watching those highlights from 2016, and do you remember who was on the line? Who was your manager?
Was it Paula Cunningham?
Absolutely, and she's just messaged us as well. Great start by Monaghan. Keep it up, ladies, although that's maybe a little bit out of date now. I've only just spotted it. Paula, thanks for the message, and great to hear from you. And she was with Meath for a while as well, wasn't she? Was it Meath Miners or something? And
she was with Fermanagh as well.
That's it. Yeah. Great football lady, and from just over here, I think, didn't she just slip behind? We could maybe give her a wave. Oh yeah, round to the left there. Yeah, you're right. So good to hear from Paula. And this is one of the highlights of the game from earlier on. This was the run through for the penalty. She was just about to pull the trigger, and she may as well have let her go because they got a goal anyway. And yeah, I see what you mean there about the goalkeeper. She was going one side saying put it the other side, but she didn't fall for it. No. And this, the Cavan goal from Aisling Sheridan, and what a finish it was. I know this was the point that she scored, and don't know if we're going to have time to see that. Way we will actually, because Amy Garland's still getting a bit of treatment, and this was one of the goal chances. So they've had 1 goal and 2 goal chances. Cavan, they're so dangerous when they do get a run, and as the game opens up you think they might get more of that, and that is the finish. That's why it's 1-6 to 1-2 and added time at the end of the first half, but we haven't had any play for a minute and a half because of that injury, so we're still going to have about another 2 or 3 minutes, you would imagine. Mona Sheridan and Cavan just seem a little bit more comfortable now with this game after getting their score. They were struggling at one point with the 3 points, but they're going really well now, and there's going to be a free, and they're starting to draw frees from Monaghan.
Yeah, they're definitely growing in confidence, and maybe Monaghan's just tiring a little bit, so they'll be looking for this half time to come quick.
Absolutely, yeah. Maybe it's tricky. Maybe they're playing into a strong breeze out there, Monaghan, as well. Maybe that's a factor that we haven't really taken too much into account. And then, if you remember, Cavan had a couple of balls as well that fell into the goalkeeper's arms. And this one definitely isn't. She's given that plenty, and she's put it over the bar, and that's a brilliant free as well. Driven high and accurately over the bar from Gilson. And now there's daylight between the teams. There's 5 points between the teams.
Yeah, now they've changed tactically. They've put a press on.
They have. How does that happen? Is that a word from the sideline, or what is that?
It could be a word from the sideline, or the players might take it upon themselves.
Brady has it. Ellie Brady. I haven't seen too much of her, but she feeds it in, and it might get in. No, Garland has done brilliantly to get in there and steal that one away. But yeah, that was a fascinating change of tactic there right at the end of the half. Maybe it was because of in the break there, Cora, that the manager was able to get the word on and say, like, you know, I don't know if they could do a big talk about that, or if they had a code word or something.
They probably have a wee code word, but that's something that I'm more in favour of, and they nearly got joy out of it there. So.
But why do they not do it all the time then, or is it just something? I mean, why would they have decided to do that at this point? And I don't know the answer. Maybe you don't as well. It's a rhetorical question, I guess, but it's fascinating.
It could be something they prefer to do, is dropping off.
But in that case, they're going, just go for one, you know, just surprise them. Maybe that's it.
Possibly, yeah.
Interesting. So, 33rd minute of the first half. 1-7 plays 1-2, and as I say, Monaghan from seemingly in quite a comfortable position, 1-2 points up, all of a sudden they find themselves 5 down.
Yeah. That's
what can happen. Mona Sheridan again, as Monaghan sit back, as you say, maybe this half has taken a lot out of them. And it's a tactic. I mean, it's the way the game's played. It does take a lot out of players, but Monaghan have got it back, and now they want to try and transition and get a score, but held at source there by Aisling Sheridan, and that's kind of stopped the counter. I don't see the referee ticking for that, but to be honest, I think they should do for that, because that's quite a cynical tactic. Sometimes you see a lot of senior teams doing that, and you know they're just trying to stop that transition for 5 or 6 seconds, and it's crucial.
Maybe they should take in the rule from the men's 50 metre. If they're going to stop the play, well then bring the ball up. But yeah, I'd love to see Monaghan here attack now with more players getting ahead of the ball. Yeah,
the rule in the men's is that they bring it forward like 50 metres
50 metres, yeah, if you stop.
Has that worked?
Oh, it has, yeah.
Really?
It's a great one. I like that rule.
Yeah, you wonder why it wasn't brought in earlier, but I suppose you're looking at it as a forward player as well, or a player who like to create, and it really is effective then?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
That's interesting. And this is Jennifer Duffy again for Monaghan. Now 34th minute of the first half. We did have quite a few stoppages, so not too surprising that we're still going at this point, but this is Lauren Garland now, and Monaghan have not scored for a long time. And when you now look at the scoreboard, they've just scored 3 times in fact, and that one's going to go to the right and it's not going to go in, but it might actually end up quite well if it spills, but it's well swept up, I think, by Sinead Kelly, the number 3 back there for Cavan. And yeah, Monaghan haven't really found a way to unlock Cavan in the last 15 minutes or so of the game. There's a few shots that have been taken that have been off balance and they haven't got up that much, but Cavan on the other end though are starting to motor. They're starting to play their game, and look at the speed here of Sheridan, and they've now created an overload and they might even get another goal right at the end of the half. This is a crucial moment you feel in the game. Brilliantly blocked, and that is a crucial block, and it was number 4 Anya Lockman who came to the rescue.
Yeah, the Cavan player torn the wrong way. She should have turned on the outside and not on the inside, and she would have got a goal if she had torn the outside. And great block by Anya getting back.
Absolutely brilliant from the girl from Carrickmacross, and as I say, that's crucial because 8 points at that stage would be crucial in the game. You'd think, can Monaghan get back from that? The last day Cavan got a goal before half time to get it back to 5 points before half time, and that was crucial. Cavan might get another goal before half time against Monaghan because they're coming again. They're really finding the openings now. Lockman comes across, but it's Gilson, and I think, or rather is it maybe Keenahan, but a chance for Monaghan. Cavan rather right at the end of the half. Monaghan tackling desperately, defending with their lives, and they've given away a free. It's going to be a free in, and as you said a few minutes ago, Cora, Cavan are going really well, and Monaghan just want this end this half to end.
Yeah, they were scrambling back there.
Great
Cavan
block.
had so many players up.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the problem for Monaghan, and they're just not having joy when they get into attack. So they really need to get in. But they're going to go in, I think, 6 points down. She wasn't going to miss from there. Was that a half-time whistle? I don't think it was, actually. I don't think it was. No, we're nearly 6 minutes extra. Might be from the kickouts. And yeah, it is. So half-time. 1-8 plays 1-2. And Cavan, I make it, have scored maybe 1-4, 1-5 without reply. And that's been the story in the last 10-15 minutes or so. And yeah, they had that threat early on, and Monaghan were stifling them and doing really well, but a couple of unforced errors, and Cavan have been really, really good at punishing them from their point of view. They've been lethal when they've had half a chance. Yeah,
looking by the kick passes and the scores that Cavan got, I think they have the wind advantage there. Monaghan's shots were being held up in the air. Maybe that was a poor score taking options they were doing, but maybe the wind is a factor down there.
Yeah, that's a good point actually, because I think it was both of the Garlands. There was a trainer, they'd kicks and they would usually go over the bar. They missed a few there, so yeah, maybe that's it. So maybe Cavan had just had the strong breeze in the first half. Maybe that is a factor. We have another message here just before we break, Cora. Joanne Courtney, your niece Mia is listening to Cora from Kilkenny.
Yeah, that's my sister there.
It's a family affair, and another sister on the pitch. So 1-8 to 1-2 for Cavan in this TG4 All-Ireland Intermediate Championship Round 1 game. Fascinating game in the sunshine here at St Tiernach's Park. We will be back when the players come back from the old dressing rooms over in the corner in about 10 minutes time. Welcome back for the second half. Declan Carolyn out in the middle, waiting for the players to get into position. Some of the Cavan players a little bit later coming out, moving over to the far side. And I'm with Cora Courtney here. And Cora, I'm just looking to see if there's any changes. Is that a Monaghan change up in left corner forward? It's hard to see the number from here, but do you see anything? Anything new?
Is Holly McQuaid in there? Full forward for Monaghan.
That would make sense. Yeah, Holly McQuaid is in. Brilliant minor player a couple of years
Could
ago.
be
And
Amy Clark off for Monaghan as well.
And Amy Clark wasn't playing a traditional full forward. She was out the field. Holly will maybe play a little bit more forward. So maybe with the conditions you were spotting towards the end of the half, it was very much helping the team going from left to right. And you were saying before the game maybe Monaghan should put it in more. So why not put Holly in there and get the ball in as quickly as you can? And that's maybe what they are going to do tactically in this second half. We'll see. This is Rosemary Courtney coming out now to spin with the ball and give it to Kiva Brennan for Monaghan as they try to force something, but it's Cavan sitting in there now. It was a cagey first half in many ways as Monaghan stifled Cavan, but Cavan eventually got through to get their 6-point lead. 30 seconds into the second half though, and Monaghan looking to get a score, and I recognise the orange boots and the accuracy as well, and that's Sarah Tiernach again. Good score.
The need to give her the ball. She's creating opportunities and getting scores when she does have it in her hand.
Yeah, she's very confident, there's no doubt about that, and that is exactly the start that they needed to the second half. They're announcing substitutions, I think, but I can't actually hear them, so we'll pick it up ourselves as we go on. And Rosemary playing very high on the press there, as you see, Cora, and they are pressing high here, Monaghan on Cavan. I guess with that breeze they want to really press it.
Yeah, hopefully they should get joy off this.
Kick out is from Evelyn Baugh, and it's a perfect one. Well, that's the way to beat the press. It had to be precision, and it was brilliant. And look at the attack they've got from it as well. Monaghan committed to a high press and it didn't work. Now Sheridan gets it to Catherine Dolan. Credit to the goalkeeper who won a Lidl Team of the League award, and you see now why when she hits a kick out like that, so important, and beat the high press. But Monaghan might be going to turn it over here, and they have indeed. They've got the decision. This could be a very interesting second half, because if Monaghan have that strong breeze and could eat into that lead. Here's another of their substitutes, and she's coming forward, and I'm just going to check on my notes. 25, or that is Holly McQuaid. Yeah, she is wearing 25, yeah. And she was just playing a little bit deeper there, and she's very left-footed, is she not?
Yeah, all left.
Yeah, I thought she was on the right there as well. I was a little bit puzzled there, but yeah, that's Holly. Lockman involved for Monaghan as they come forward, and yeah, they look like they're up for this second half. They want to take the game to Cavan and use that breeze as well and get a few players in there, but it's Cavan having that +1 in there that you were talking about in the first half. I think it's Lucy Crowe maybe who is sitting in there as the extra player, so it's up to Monaghan to keep going at them, and the overload and the extra players, that's what they're trying to do. Now Holly on that left foot we were talking about, and they allowed her a little bit of room there, and you cannot allow Holly that bit of room. As a good score, that's exactly what she can do. Good
score, and the advantage of the win there, you can see it travelled for her.
A little bit of concern here from a Cavan point of view, because Monaghan have got through for 2 scores in the first 3 minutes of the second half, and it's been pretty much one-way traffic. Now there's that press again, and that was a little bit short, that one. I think it had to go outside the D, didn't it?
Yeah, that should have been called.
Definitely didn't go outside the D, but Cavan get away with it. But they're under pressure at the start of the second half, and 6-point lead at half time, some people might have been thinking that's a bit much, but the way the game is going now, you're thinking Monaghan have started really well, and they are thinking themselves they have a really good chance. This is Fitzpatrick coming forward and leaves it off to Sheridan. Really brilliant transfer. They have another player over, but Brady takes it herself, drives it over the bar, and that is the answer they needed.
Yeah, very impressed with Cavan's quick hands.
And you watch it again there, Sheridan, boom. And would you have gone for goal there or just put it over?
I think the point was a safe score there.
Sensible option, yes, but a really lively start to the second half. Courtney picks it up just on the sideline. So Monaghan's momentum just stifled a little bit by that score. But definitely not really the lively game that we were anticipating from before, but I guess that was too much to ask. But there'll still be plenty of drama, you feel, left in this game in the last 26 minutes. Monaghan looking to prevent Cavan from beating them 2 days in a row. That's an interesting low ball played all the way through, but just intercepted by Sheridan, I think it was back there. And indeed it was. I'm getting Sheridan and Fitzpatrick mixed up quite a bit, but I think that was Sheridan. Feel free to correct me if I get it wrong, Cora. Please do, in fact. I'm just checking the feed on the live streams, but watching Sinead Green coming forward for Cavan as she does so well and leaves it off, but it spills at the last minute. And now it's Monaghan's chance. It is going to be an end-to-end game in this second half, and tiredness will have an effect as well. But the game will open up, and substitutes like Holly McQuaid will find a lot of room, and that's exactly what's happened right now. Gives it into Tiernach. As you said, Cora, give the ball to Sarah. She's on fire today. She takes on Brady and gives it back out to Holly McQuaid. Looks at a little bit of room, and the two of them are causing trouble. Is that just inside the post? It is. And Cavan have not really kicked on here. They have not really clicked on, rather, to what's happening here, and McQuaid is playing really well, and they can't let her on that left foot.
Yeah, Monaghan are very positive there in attack, looking to go forward and not side to side.
As McQuaid will just step into that side off the right and put it over the bar. She's done it twice, and I'm sure the management on the sideline are looking to say, hold on a minute. Now this is Fitzpatrick for Cavan, and gives it inside. I think that's Shauna Lynch, and leaves it off on the stand side here in St Tiernach's Park in the game, with 4 scores already in the first 5.5 minutes of the second half. And Sheridan coming out the field and turning and twisting, leaves it off brilliantly as well to Catherine Dolan. She leaves it off, and Cavan maybe going for the jugular here. It's Gilson in, but has she taken a little bit too much? And the challenge comes in, and the referee is going to walk towards this and take his time here. Maybe he's already made up his mind. Now he's telling us what's going on. Is he going to hop it?
Throw ball, yeah, but I think she took one dummy too many there.
I thought so too, yeah, and it wasn't for that, though. It was after that, but it is a hot ball. But yeah, Cavan still have that serious threat when they go forward. So Declan Carlin will throw this up between Niamh Flanagan and Aisling Sheridan. Sheridan does well to win it and gets her free in as well, and she had no right really to win that over the taller player, but she used her experience and strength well, Cora.
Yeah, playing in the Aussie rules helped there.
Yeah, probably, yeah. So 1-9 plays 1-5, and this should go to a 5-point lead again for Cavan, because Gilsonan is very accurate from these. First one at that end, and indeed doesn't make a mistake, and it's a 5-point lead again. And Monaghan's momentum, their good start to the second half, has just been knocked back. Easy possession again, and then there's 8 Cavan players waiting for them, saying try and get through us. The way they get through is support play.
Yeah, it's Kiva shouldn't have torn back there. Just go forward, deliver it in. The space is there.
Yeah, she come back into trouble there really, and went across rather than through, and she'd sort of beaten the first line. Gilson gets a hand in on Garland. Referee gives a free to Garland, who wants to take it quickly, and that's exactly what you need to do. But she gets it, but then doesn't see much movement ahead of her, or many options. Will probably end up going backwards, and does. A few players showing up ahead of her, and one of them is Courtney, and does really well. She showed a bit of responsibility and leadership there, and took the game, and has got the free. And indeed there's going to be at least a tick for that challenge.
He's the book out, I'd say.
Absolutely.
Rosemary's lying down, just hoping for a bit more.
Yeah, well, you were saying earlier about the ticks maybe adding up, but you know, I looked ahead there from our wide angle here, and nobody took responsibility, but Rosemary ran in and took it. I'm not just saying that because you're your sister, but she was the one who came looking for the ball and then drew her opponent, and has got now an extra player on the field from it, and that's all it takes.
You want to, if you see the space, drive into it there. Don't be going back.
And what it means is that Shauna Lynch, the captain of Cavan, has been sin binned, and that's the second sin bin of the day. The other was for the challenge on the penalty from Emer Corcoran. So the referee just waiting for Shauna to leave the field, and she has. So now Monaghan, and that one's gone high, but it's gone left. It's not going to be a score, and was there a touch on it there from a Cavan player? No, it's a wide ball. But we have now 21 minutes left, 5-point game, and Monaghan have an extra player.
Yeah, they should be looking to win this kick out now.
Now let's see this press. And now Cavan are having a little bit of difficulty here because they've only got the 14 players. And Monaghan have made a switch. Are they? I saw the orange boots going off and I thought surely it's not Tiernach, but it's not Tiernach going off. No. What's the change? It's Niamh Flanagan, is it?
I don't actually see who come in.
We'll pick it up. I'll follow the play because there's a high press on there, but Cavan trying to beat it, and they do it really well. That's brilliant play, good responsibility, leadership shown by them this time from Mona Sheridan. Came looking for it, and that's exactly what it takes. And Cora was talking about that before, that teams need to show calmness and leadership in the last 10-15 minutes of games. That's where the games are won, and that's what we're going to wait to see, who does that best. Sheridan leaves it inside in the run. Oh, and the kick just snatched that a little bit, and it goes to the right and goes wide. But it's still a 5-point lead, 20 minutes to go. And again, this is fascinating to me. There's no Cavan players going anywhere near that. They're sitting on the 45 in a line.
Yeah, definitely break that first line and get the ball in now. This should be delivered in.
That is the ball over the top. It's easy to get over it, but then, and now they're going past it. Well, this is exactly what they need to do. And the girl you were talking about, Kiva Brennan, did it right that time. And now they've got a break, and now they might even have a one-on-one. They have a chance here for Eva Sherry. There's a goal on here. This is crucial. Brilliant goal. What a brilliant goal. That is the way to beat the press. And Monaghan have just livened things up here in Clonus with 20 minutes to go. And it's a girl from Scottstown. They got in behind, and a devastating finish from her. This game is not over. 2 points in it. Pick that one out. Some great finishing today.
Yeah, she has 2 feet on her, so it was the joy of having the left foot there. She could swing it off it.
Yeah, well, you'd appreciate that. There's not too many players around with that these days, is there? And it is such a skill.
Yeah, it's a skill that you should be working on underage, and you can see it coming more into the game, but you can see an awful lot of people out there who's on the wrong side and should be taking a shot on but can't because they haven't got their 2 feet. Well,
there's one thing being able to shoot off both feet, but you were always able to solo really adeptly off both feet. I mean, how did you develop that?
Look, I just done it myself out at home and on the training pitch. Just everything you do in any drill, you use both sides of the body.
What, from an early age?
Oh, from an early age, yeah.
But what it meant was it always looked like the ball was on a string. When you were playing, you could solo on either side and score on either side, you know, and then with balance as well. I mean, that was such a key. I say it like it's a past tense, but you're still playing. I'm
still playing. Doing a bit with the club, yep.
Yeah. And but I mean, did anyone encourage you at a young age to do that?
No, I just took it on myself. Like, they'd probably still be giving out to me for using the left foot, but it gets you out of a lot of trouble.
Why would they give out to you? Why would they give out to you?
You might see an odd wee left that goes wide there or something like that.
Right, okay. So slightly less strong on the left side. But I mean, maybe it was because, you know, you realised that if you're very one-sided, then players know how to use you. It was the way out.
Yeah, look, a lot, like I'm with the under-16s in their club, Dunamine, and you're encouraging them to use it. Like, they don't have the confidence to do it, but
is it too late by then nearly?
I'd rather see them do it than not do it. Look, yeah, you'd want to be developing it from earlier on than that, and you can't just be doing it 2 days a week on the pitch. You have to do it at home yourself.
Right. And that's interesting.
It was number 15, Eve Corley, was it, who come on, I think, or Sophie Corley?
Sophie Curley from Emmyville from Monaghan came on. Yeah, good spot. Yeah, she's in. Is that another change? Yeah, Cavan change, I think. Apologies, but we're away over the far side up on the hill here, and we can neither hear nor see if they do have a board going up.
21 for 13.
21 for 13 for Cavan. Thank goodness you're here. Niamh Keenahan is off, and 21 for Cavan is Niamh McCorry. We're not too surprised because Niamh comes on in a lot of games and is usually impactful. Scored a great point down in Louth in the league, I remember, and she did well in the colleges earlier this year. And the last day, I think she got a goal as well. Really good player as well from Butler's Bridge, so she's in the play, and that's kind of a predictable change for Cavan. That one is a good ball in, and it was actually looking for her and found her, and she left it off brilliantly to Sheridan. And this is Cavan. They haven't really knitted together as well as they did going forward, and all those goals they scored against Down, they haven't been allowed to today, but that was a little flash of what they can do. But in the end, the ball was out, and the referee is going to sort this out. Is it a 45? He's going in to talk to his umpire. He's signalling, but he needs to have a word with him for some reason. He's going to talk to both of his umpires. So 2-5 plays 1-10. The score the last day was 2-15 to 3-8. We're heading that direction. And it's a 2-point game, 13 to 11. Is he giving a free in?
No,
it's a 45.
Yeah.
It's a 45. It is going out for 45. Yeah, we've sorted that one out. So nearly down to the last quarter, 15, and then there'll be 2 or 3 minutes extra, and just the 2 points in it. The game really on a knife edge because Monaghan with the breeze, but Cavan now getting up the field. The next score you feel will be important, and that looking for Sheridan, I think, but 2 or 3 Monaghan players there, and they fouled, and it's a free, and Cavan will look to take it quickly with Gilson in, but decides better off it. It feels really tense even from up here, Cora, and it's hard to see the way the game can go, but you feel as if there's going to be a few dramatic twists in it.
Yeah, you can hear the crowd on the far side, but I'd say the players down there can't even hear the crowd, so they'll be all right out on the pitch.
But what do you think this last 15, what way do you think it can go?
Look, if Monaghan can get the next score, well then Cavan are going to be nervous, so if Cavan do get it 1 or 2 scores here, well then you'd look for them to drive on then.
Monaghan really, though, they haven't let Cavan in large parts play the way Cavan can play.
No, they've done very well.
This is
especially the second half.
Yeah, Christina Charters leaves it over. Green with the run inside, trying to make a bit of progress, but held up by Shona Brady and fouled by Brady, so it's going to be a free. But these frees are all outside the scoring zone.
Yeah, and eating up the clock as well.
Exactly, yeah. So Cavan keeping the ball up this end, and that suits them, but it's only a 2-point lead. And if Monaghan can do a counter and get another goal from Sherry, all of a sudden it's right there. So the game's right there to be won. Gilson is going for it. I was saying outside the scoring zone she might defy me here, and she has. She's put that over brilliantly, and that was a good score considering the conditions, Cora.
Yeah, I would have expected that nearly to drop short, and for Monaghan be wary of it, but that was a serious score.
It was indeed. It's a good score. Now, I am being sent the changes. I think we may be already up to date, but thank you to Aisling for sending them through. Anyway, oh no, it's score updates. I'll give those in a second. Let's follow the play because it's Monaghan. A goal down, 3 points down, as you see on our scoreboard now. We've added it up for you going into the last quarter, but Cavan's defence has steadied. They were caught for the goal on a one-on-one with a mistake, but now they have settled a little bit and they've got their hands on the ball a lot the last 5 minutes, and as you were saying, they're eating up the clock, and that's Fitzpatrick. A desperate challenge coming in, I think, from Duffy, and she's going to get ticked for that.
Should have just let the play go on then.
Yeah, she just was desperate to get the ball, I guess. But that little break allows me to give you the updates and the rest of the intermediate championships. So Laois against Roscommon, Laois leading by a goal, 1-8 to 1-5. Clare are beating Offaly rather comprehensively, 3-9 to 1-1. And Westmeath are 7 points up against Down, 2-5 to 6. So it looks like Down's form in the Ulster final is continuing there. They are having bother, and they are going pretty unwell in the championship in Ulster. And now today, it would seem 13 minutes to go here then, and I don't know, Cora, it's like this game needs to get going, and it's still really tense, and you know there's going to be more in it, but it's just stop-start, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very stop-start, and it's hard for anybody to get a bit of momentum here. I suppose it gives the players a breather out on the pitch, but at the same time they'd love to see it continuing on.
Yeah, if you were playing in this kind of game, you'd be wanting just let's get on with the game, let's play. But it hasn't been allowed to flow, not in the last 5 or 6 minutes. But the game has mainly been to our left. Cavan doing most of the pressing with that 2-point lead, but it's only that 2-point lead. 3-point lead, sorry, that was 2 points. 3 points now, I forgot about that last one. So 3 in it, and Monaghan playing a waiting game in there. They're not pressing, they're not coming out, and maybe that is a tactic, because they think, well, we'll just try and hit them on the counter, and they'll not press too high until they get a word from the sideline that it's getting a bit late. So Catherine Dolan just passes it over to Fitzpatrick, and they're just going to, as you say, keep possession.
Yeah, they'll be happy enough with Cavan doing this. This is easy enough to defend now.
Sorry, Monaghan are happy enough?
Oh, Monaghan happy enough, yeah. For Cavan to play it around here, they'll not be too happy if someone takes a run off the shoulder.
Yeah, exactly.
But let them pass around the D.
So that requires a bit of discipline and composure. When you're 3 points down, you're not too anxious to get out. You're letting them have the ball. You're not too worried, even though there's 12 minutes to go or so. It's still plenty of time. You're happy enough. Yeah. So Cavan do have the ball. And they're just passing it around, and it's like Monaghan sitting in sort of where the arc is, waiting for Cavan to come in and make a mistake. Would you not rather, from a Monaghan point of view, they'd sort of come out and really force the game at this point? No?
I suppose this is what Monaghan's used to, setting up like this tactically.
Yeah, we did a game last year in the championship around this time. They went down to Offaly and drew. It was 10 points each. It's kind of the way they play these days.
Yeah, but as I said earlier, I'm old-fashioned. I'd rather be pushing out.
This
but
is
for this Monaghan team, it's different.
To Dolan, and they are maybe going to get through. No, they're not. Cork are in, and they come all the way back out again. Yeah, they don't want to carry the ball into the tackle and lose it and lose the ball. That's what Monaghan are waiting for. They're waiting for the chance, and now they've got their chance. And they have got a break now. They have got players over as well. Can they look at the amount of room? This is exactly as opposed to what they were trying to do. They get it to Sherry, which is still a long way from goal. She's having to do it all herself, and well, she just take a point. Well, that's what happens. Yeah. That's the modern game. Cora, you're old-fashioned, I'm old-fashioned, but this is the way it's done.
Yeah, that's what they were looking to happen.
Exactly, and they'll take a point. So it can work, and there's still, as I say, 10 minutes to go. There's a change. I can't see that number
5
from here.
Off from
is it 5? How do you spot that? Grace Hanratty from Castleblaney is off for them, and here is the high press from Monaghan, forcing ball to be very creative, but it's gone straight to Rosemary Courtney. She's got it for Monaghan. 2 points down. A goal here, of course, will put them into the lead, but they're not forcing it. McQuaid gives it back to Courtney, and it drops into the goalkeeper's arms. And now Cavan have possession again. But that Monaghan threat is there, and it's there again because Courtney has turned it over again. She's done brilliantly to get it to McQuaid. She wants to get on that left foot. She's done it a couple of times in this half, but it's going to be a free in at least. And McQuaid, you know, Cora, when you think about it, she scored 2, and now she's created a free here that should probably be a third score as well. She's been a good sub to bring in.
Yeah, she's been another option that Monaghan needed up there.
And do you want to praise Rosemary for her couple of interceptions there? Or you just want to leave that?
Oh yeah, I suppose it's good to see her getting on a lot more ball here in the second half.
Absolutely. And a good score as well. And there's me saying, what are Monaghan doing? They need to come out and they get 2 points in a row. So it's patience pays, I guess.
They're getting a bit of joy off this kick out.
Well, that one has gone to Lucy Crowe. So Cavan have possession, but they give away possession cheaply, as Monaghan did in a spell in the first half, which really cost them. And that's Crowe giving it back to her goalkeeper, both from the Lurgan club, as they try to get out, but Cavan under pressure. The press is on, and there it is again. Monaghan getting in again, and they did well. They've got it, and they've got a free. They have, and was that Aoife Burns who got in there?
Jennifer Duffy.
For Monaghan, no, the other one, the actual one who got the initial ball, I think it was Aoife. She's coming towards the ball now, yeah, it was. So yeah, she got the initial challenge in, and then Duffy came in as well, but between them, they've got possession. There's only a point in it, 8 minutes to go. She looks like she fancies us from there, outside the 45, yeah?
She'll have the distance, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, especially with this wind at her back.
Oh, and she'll step inside as well. Bang, oh no, I don't think, no, it's gone to the right. She's lost the accuracy with the distance, and it's going to be a free in though. They've got another free. Really bad angle if you're thinking about a score, but they have at least got a free, and this is an interesting turnaround in the game in the last 2 or 3 minutes. So you were right, Monaghan were good just to be patient, and now they've got 2, and maybe if they can get this over, it's a tough ask, but they could get it. Is it McQuaid taking it?
Yep.
Of course it is, left footed. She'll fancy it. Oh, is it going to curl in? Oh, it's a beauty. Absolute beauty as well. And Holly McQuaid has levelled at 3 points since half time. 7 minutes to go. This game is up for grabs. Nicely taken.
Lovely score, yeah. It's good to have her on the pitch there for those 2 or 3 frees.
So the kick out needs to be accurate. It is a brilliant kick out from Evelyn Ball just when her team needed it. But Cavan, after being in the lead and in control for long spells in this game, remember at half time it was 6 points. It's now level. Catherine Dolan trying to run, but it's a free out. It's all Monaghan at the minute, Cora. It's amazing the way games can change.
And Catherine hasn't got the joy she has gotten in the Ulster final. Monaghan have held her well.
They really have, and they got a free there as well. It's all Monaghan in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Can they capitalise? This would be a big, big win for Monaghan if they could beat Cavan after losing to them a month ago, and Cavan going on to win the Ulster Championship and winning National League Division 3, but Monaghan putting a statement down now in the All-Ireland Championship. If they can turn this around, the last day they let slip an 11-point lead and lost by 4. Today there's been a 6-point lead and they are now level. Catherine Dolan now does have it though. Sorry, Cora, you wanted to make a point?
Oh, I thought that was a harsh travel the referee gave there.
Dolan leaves it off, but it's gone astray, and Cavan are just not on their game at the minute. Monaghan on the rise with Jennifer Duffy coming forward, and another free. It seems like every free, the last 6 or 7 have all gone to Monaghan. That's just the way the game is going. And the referee calling for, is it a substitution or a sin bin coming back in? I'm not quite sure. Don't see any movement over there. Oh, there's movement. They had a player for Cavan.
24 for 9, I think.
24 for 9. Thank you for that. So Ellie Brady coming off, and 24 for Cavan is Dervla Lynch. Dervla Lynch from Killygarry. So a change. And not Brady's day so far, or today rather. And there she is, Lynch going to try and intercept that. Well, Cavan definitely have to do something, but it's Monaghan still coming forward, looking now for the lead. They haven't been in the lead since about halfway through the first half, and yet another free has gone for Monaghan. They're really forcing this game now, and it's Cavan are hanging on.
They are hanging on, and Monaghan's just having more players for options going forward, which has helped them so much in the second half. Noel
Breslin says purple patch for Monaghan. It absolutely is, and what a time to have it coming up to the last 5 minutes of the game. Well, she had won a minute ago from a few steps back from this. She's going to try again. This would be pretty sensational to get it from there, but what a time in the game to step up. She got the goal. Oh, she's taken another step out of it as well. That's an interesting one, just to the left and just wide. Well, Monaghan agonisingly close here to getting into the lead. 3.5 minutes of normal time to go. Now they're putting the high press on to stop Cavan getting out. Cavan under serious pressure. They had that big lead. They need to get this. They get it short from the kick out after the high press. Cora, that was actually a little bit slack from Monaghan, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think they could have worked harder there to even double up on the player that got the ball there. Yeah, they just didn't really see that, and they've let them. Well, they haven't got out, but they have got to the 45, Cavan, and they've got possession. Now they're getting up towards halfway. Now there might be a turnover. Another strong challenge going in, and I don't know if it's me, Cora, but we're way up here on the hill, but I'm getting the sense that the crowd in the stand, which is mainly Monaghan, I think, are starting to drive their team on. Oh yeah, you can hear them from the other side of the pitch here, and they're letting the referee know about it too. Yeah, and the players will get a sense of that. Oh, they will, yeah. It'd be great to have a few extra people in now for them. Yeah, it might get Monaghan over the line, and they win it again. They're winning all of the challenges. And that was against Sheridan, who immediately goes back into defence, or rather it wasn't Sheridan, that was McCorry. And she goes back, and she is following Garland, I think. She's obviously doing a one-to-one marking job there, but it's still Monaghan coming forward. Monaghan have been relentless the last 5 or 6 minutes. They're knocking on the door. Can they get the score? That's brilliant play by Casey Traynor. Superb. She doesn't even go for her own score. She leaves it over to McQuaid. Wrong option. The wrong option. That should have been put over the bar. Oh, she did so well with a dummy solo here and came inside, and that needed to be put in, but I think she thought, well, Holly's on form, that's her left side, but should have taken her own score. That was an opportunity that they might rue, because Cavan now are getting up the field with Mona Sheridan. She's got support off the shoulder as well. She uses it in a brilliant little spin to avoid the challenge. Gilsonan now for Cavan, but they run into trouble. It's going to be a free out. Cavan cannot get a break for loving her money at the minute. We'll watch it again. Yeah, she goes into her player. Second last minute of normal time. Could end up a draw then, which will then make the games against Wicklow really, really interesting, or even more interesting than they're going to be. Cavan will play Wicklow next Sunday, and then Wicklow will be at home to Monaghan the Sunday after. But if this ends in a draw, it'll be really, really interesting group. This is Lockman. Well, the way things are going here, Monaghan should win this, or at least get a draw, but you just never know. Tough challenge coming in from Lynch, but too tough. Free. They're going to drive it in there. They're going to look for the long ball option, and they get it to Sherry. She's done brilliantly.
Didn't think she was favourite to get that ball, but she's got it. Well, is it McQuaid again? Oh, I thought she was going to curl that one in with that left foot, but it's gone agonising to the left. And that's another chance gone for Mayo. Not great chances, but chances. Now that is inside the D. Oh, that one was definitely inside the D. And it's a free, and it's a golden chance. This is, well, after they've had 3 or 4 chances they haven't taken, that is a gift.
This could be the winning of the game here now.
And just if you don't know the rules, the kick out has to go outside the D. I know it might go too low. I thought it was going to go too low and be saved, but it's gone over the bar, and that is Monaghan in the lead. 15 seconds of normal time to go, and Cavan's goalkeeper ball comes out, and she looks, and there's no blue jerseys near her. This has to go blue, not white and blue, but blue. It doesn't. It goes to Monaghan. And Monaghan have turned this round from 6 points down. They lead, and they might even get a free. No, it's a free out. It's a free out. Finally, Cavan do win a free. We're on added time at the end of this game. I make it to be 2 or 3 minutes, Cora. What do you think?
I'd say with all the subs here and the few stoppages here, so Cavan will hope to create a scoring opportunity from this.
They haven't scored for ages, and Monaghan have got it back, and they might finish it here. It's Tiernach. What a game she has had, and she's put it over. She does not need much room. Sarah Tiernach got the first score of the game, and she has possibly won it for Monaghan right at the death, and she's probably deserving player of the match as well.
Yeah, she's been the most I don't even know what I'm trying to say here, but anytime she's gone on the ball, she's been very dangerous for the Monaghan team.
That kick out did not clear the 20.
Yeah, they're getting all their joy off this kick out from Cavan.
Yeah, it didn't seem to be until the last 5 or 6 minutes or so, but they've had a great last 10 minutes of the game, Monaghan, to turn this one around. And Cavan looked dejected. They just can't get up the field. They cannot get up the field. They haven't had even a shot at goal, never mind a score, in a long, long time. And after such a good start to the middle period of the second half. But it's 16-14 now for Monaghan, and Courtney just drills that. And the wind, look at the way the wind has carried that. It's nearly carried it up into row 10.
I think that was the only option she had. All the Monaghan ones were picked up, so you might as well put it out and try and get the ball back here from the kick out. Inside again. She
has gone inside again. Maybe it's because she started outside. I'm not entirely sure if that makes a difference. But what it means now is that Cavan need a goal. There's no point getting a point now, and they haven't been even been able to get close to getting a point in this game. McCorry, who came on about in the last 10 minutes or so, but they can't get up the field. Cavan desperate now to get up the field. Monaghan pressing all over the field. It is 63, we're in the 63rd minute now. 2:10 plays 1:11, 2-point lead for Monaghan, and this will be retribution the way things are going for the defeat in the Ulster Championship. Catherine Dolan looking to find a way through for Cavan. They're not dead yet, but it's going to be very, very difficult to get through. Sinead Green pops it back out to Fitzpatrick. Sheridan has it, but she's held up, and Monaghan have been brilliant at turning the ball over in these sort of challenges and those sort of areas, but on this occasion they fouled.
Yeah, and I suppose every team has trained for these occasions where you have these scenarios, you could be 2 points down, and they probably have something up their sleeve for creating a golden opportunity here. But
you said before the game that Monaghan needed to learn from the last game for exactly situations like this. They've done that.
They have done it, yeah, and they were done very well pressing, and they were getting a lot of joy from pressing Cavan when they did, and then as well they're good at sitting back and filling in holes.
Cavan have made a last minute substitution. We're now in the 64th minute. It's all or nothing. The referee looks at his watch on his right hand, then he looks at the watch on his left hand. That's usually a sign that we are very, very close to the finish. So a point is no use. Catherine Dolan, a Monaghan player, goes down off the ball. They carry on. They need to get it in there. They need to get a goal. That's the only thing that will do at the minute, or Monaghan will win this championship game. The referee might blow. They might even get a chance, might not even get a chance. They do get a chance, but they go for a point. Goes off the post and inside the post. So they get it down to 1, but I don't know if they're going to have time. And they're definitely going to need to press. they can't let Monaghan have the ball here easily like they have done for most of the game, but they seem to be keeping to their system. Now they're going a little bit forward. I don't know if there's time here for Cavan. They simply have to win this, but Monaghan's Orna Kelly goes long. That might be a good idea depending on how long is left. No, Cavan have it, and it's Shauna Lynch who was sin-binned and has come back into the play, but it's a decision for Monaghan, and they've players up here. They have players committed, Cavan, and it's Monaghan who are getting in behind. They're a point to the good. We're in the 65th minute of the game. It's Holly McQuaid who's been the player of the second half to finish the job, and she does finish the job, and it's going to be a famous victory for the Farney County against their rivals here in Clonus in the TG4 All-Ireland Intermediate Championship. It's been a cracking game, and surely that's it. But we still go on, we still have time. We're now 64-30 in. Just when we thought that Cavan might get forward, well, it just hasn't happened for Cavan in the last 10-15 minutes. The wind taken out of their sails in Monaghan have been absolutely brilliant. But it's still not over, and Aisling Sheridan coming forward, bursting through 1-2 tackles, and she leaves it off. And there's two Cavan players at the back post, and they go for their goal. No, they don't. They get a point out of it, and it's not going to be enough. Surely that is going to be the end of the game. There's still a point in it, but Cora, oof, that was Dolan putting it over. That could have dropped into the net, but there was two players at the back post. Yeah, it could have dropped. Yeah, it could have even come off the crossbar there. It was just slightly got over it. I think this is final whistle time, and it is. It's final whistle time. It's a big win for Monaghan. Retribution for the Ulster Championship. 6 points down at half time. They've won it, and Cora, you must be proud. Yeah, Monaghan will be delighted with that result. Cavan, we're talking about All Irelands, and this will give Monaghan an awful lot of confidence going forward. You'd imagine with Wicklow being in the other game as well, that this could favour Monaghan now to top the group. Cavan will be very disappointed with that. Absolutely, and there's not a hint of sympathy there from you as well, but I wouldn't expect it. A comment on the Facebook: great game of football, very competitive, better than a one-sided game. It certainly was. Well, that's why we chose to come down here and do a live stream in this game. We hoped for a cracker. At times it didn't look like it. It was a funny sort of a game, wasn't it? Yeah, well, I suppose Cavan had a lot of ball in the first half. They just didn't make enough use of the opportunities they got, whereas Monaghan, when they did have that win in the second half, maybe only 2 or 3 wides they had, but they availed of a lot more opportunities. Well, the key period, do you remember when they were sitting back and I was saying, are they sitting too deep? You were going, no, they're doing all right, and they were right. Yeah, and then that's when they broke out and Ava Sherry got the goal, so that's what they were waiting on. You had Ava up there, you had Sarah Tierney, and then Holly McQuaid coming on. Holly made a huge difference in that second half. As we said, Sarah Tierney done brilliantly, but so did Holly McQuaid. But they must be thrilled. You can see them out there hugging each other. This means a lot to them, and it really sets their All-Ireland sort of campaign back on track, and they've got their confidence back after the hurt of throwing away an 11-point lead the last day. You can see what it's done to them. Oh yeah, like Monaghan, they want to get out of this intermediate championship, and this will give them huge confidence. Like Cavan will be back. Like this will give them probably a kick up the backside, if you can say that. That maybe they're not as far ahead as they thought they were. So, and it'll give a lot of teams hope in the intermediate championship as well. Player of the match, I mentioned the corner forward there, who was absolutely terrific, Tierney. But who do you think, or what contenders? Well, definitely Holly McQuaid is a contender, and Sarah Tierney, but I think I'll give it to Sarah Tierney. The first half she was an option. Anytime she got the ball, she was a threat, and the second half she got her few scores as well. Yeah, and Holly only played a half a game too, and she was in there as a contender. And for Cavan, you know, they had a few good performers as well over the hour, but their forwards just didn't click the way we expect them to click. And Sinead Green was good at times, especially in the first half, but you know, some of the younger players didn't really turn up today. Ellie Brady, for example, we're so used to her playing so well, and you know, they had to make a few changes. Catherine Dolan didn't have the same impact. A lot of that was down to Monaghan, and I think the final word should maybe be for Monaghan's management, because they obviously had done their homework extremely well. Yeah, they would have been prepared for this, and I think that's the way Monaghan has been playing, and they're gaining in confidence. But a lot of Cavan's play broke down up in the forwards, or handling skills, or maybe they were trying to run fast ball the whole time, whereas they got a bit of joy in the first half when they were kind of playing it round. So I think maybe the second half there they could have played it around a bit more, because they weren't getting the joy at running through Monaghan, because they weren't getting through all that much. Absolutely. Bragging rights then to Monaghan, a 1-point win. What a way to start the 2025 All-Ireland TG4 Intermediate Championship. An absolute cracker here. Great game of football, very competitive. Colette Doran-Hannon says congratulations Monaghan, and Jennifer Duffy. Mary Foy says great win, worked hard in defence. That's a good point. And Wendy Lynch says well done Monaghan ladies, hard fought till the end. A lot of comments there about how hard fought it was. Well, that's what we expect in a local derby here in Clonus. That's why we came here, and that's exactly what we got. Thanks to Cora, Courtney, and I hope you have enjoyed the live stream coverage from Clonus. From us all, it's goodbye.